I'm Kay, and I am back with another May I Scraplift You layout, and I am also working with my leftover kits from Kit Conspiracy. This is the beautiful layout that I will be scraplifting from Karen. It's either Leahy or Lehi. I apologize for butchering the name, Karen. I really do. So what I have here is a couple of trial and error cattails that I'm trying to cut out for the store. I apologize. I also plan on coloring these with some shimmer pins in greens and browns. So I have avocado, espresso, green apple, and toffee, and they're all from Close to My Heart, and they are shimmer pins, so they're all glitter. They're all filled with glitter. Oh my gosh, speak words. I also have this beautiful love cut file. It says love 3 times in case you can't read. And I plan on coloring that as well. Now these two look identical. One is in charcoal and one is Harbor, but they are nowhere near the same color at all. And I will show you guys that in a few. I have 2 flare picked out because that is what Karen also used on her layout. And I picked out this half of a cut file that I've already used the other half, but I have this one left, and I sprayed it with some oh my gosh, some glimmer spray. And I forgot that I had that glitter spray up in the right-hand corner. Totally spaced it, you guys. I didn't even, in fact, a couple layouts later, I didn't even know why it was still sitting on my desk, honestly. Because I pulled it out because I was going to want it to have silver glitter rather than the gold glitter that it had on it, but I really wasn't sure if I was going to use it or not. Other papers that I have are a scrap of green cardstock, this Mountain Trek paper, and this beautiful textures paper, both papers by Paper Rose. Oh my gosh, this is a tongue twister, you guys. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the wood grain because at first I thought I was going to use it as the base of my page, but that quickly changes too. So the first thing I'm going to do is color all my cattails with toffee and then go in with some shading and use my my brown one, espresso, I think is what it is, just for a little bit of shading, and then go back in with my toffee just halfway up, so that way they're light on the top and dark on the bottom. Now I'm going to color the whole thing with my avocado shimmer pin, and then that way I can get them all into the green, and then when I come back in with green apple, I'll be able to get some shading in different colors within all of this. Now the weird part about all of this is that even though these aren't Copic markers and they dry really super fast, I am still able to get them to blend in together, and I think that that is the neatest thing. Now some of them I do color a little bit too dark for me. I didn't really want them that dark, but when I go back over with the avocado, I do like the green that I end up with in the darker spots. So I really do like how they ended up, even though I thought I made a mistake. All right, so here is a close-up of one of them, all done and colored. And then I'm going to go ahead and color the rest of them. Now, the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to color the top and the bottom with Harbor. Now, I have to tell you guys, if you own any of these, sometimes if you push too hard to squeeze out some of the ink, then air gets trapped in there and you can't squeeze anymore. Don't keep squeezing or you'll pop out the little cork that allows the ink to stay in until you squeeze it, and then it sucks back up when you're done squeezing. I don't know the mechanism of it. I just know that if you squeeze too hard and push all that air through, you're going to break the pen. So what I do is I go ahead and I untwist the lid off to release that pressure and get the ink to flow. All right, so then I went back with charcoal, and you could tell that they are definitely 2 different colors, even though the lid says otherwise. Now what I also did was I went through and cut out my tree rings from my Paper Rose Mountain Trek paper, and I wasn't sure if that's what I wanted or not. I just went with it. I just thought, you know what, eventually something's going to come to me, but I know I want my my cut file over here. I know I have 3 photos, but now I've reduced it down to 2 because the third photo really was just of the same without my herring in there. I have a blue herring in the upper photo, in the smaller photo, that she's normally really shy. And for today, she was just strutting her stuff and enjoying life. And I thought that I would get close enough to take a picture of her. Her mate is very much so larger than she is. And he comes out very, very early in the morning. Usually when I go at my 5 a.m. walks, 5:30, that's when I get glimpses of him, but it is definitely not time to take photos. And normally when I'm out there that early, I don't have my phone on me anyways. So anyways, I decided to cut my love die cut it apart and layer it up instead of having it be so large on my page. I really wasn't digging it. I didn't like it. But when I layered them up and I have like this now 3D look, I went ahead and I cut out the heart so it wasn't 3D. And I cut off my E because I didn't like how you could no longer see the bottom two little E parts. I don't know how to describe that, but that's what I'm working at. Still trying to figure out whether or not I really like the tree ring and I really like the two photos. I went ahead and I got rid of the green wood grain paper that I thought I was going to use as the extra photo mat that Karen used on hers, the little blue one that's kind of askewed. I went ahead and I didn't like that at all. It blended in too much with my cardstock. So I thought, you know what? I'm happy with my cardstock. I cut out a little bit of extra tree ring just for something different because I knew I wasn't going to have a whole lot of embellishments for this. And over on her right side of her photo, Karen has like a little label of some sort of a flare and then words on top of the flare. So I have the words for on top of the flare and I have an embellishment. However, I felt like the embellishment was just going to get lost if I just laid it on the page. I also chose to go with a brown background instead of a black background, just so that way it kind of blended in with what I was trying to put on the page. Now, I wasn't too sure about the whole burst of lines coming from behind my wood grain, but I went with it. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to keep going, see if they really truly bug me, then I'll just take them off, not a big deal. It's not like everything is permanent to the page. It's not like I've never torn anything up from a page before. Seriously, no worries whatsoever going on there. But I just went with it. I just thought, you know, if it really does bug me, then I will take them off. But what drew me to her layout to begin with was the seaweed that she had going around the circle on her layout. And it's not going around anything. It's not going around a tree ring. It's not going around, it's just going around a circle. And then after she was done gluing all the seaweed down, she did a faux stitching inside the circle. And I thought that is the coolest thing ever. But I really like this tree ring too. So I really wanted to make the tree ring work. And once I kind of covered it up more than I was intending to, I kind of like it even more now. So I've got my cattails laid down. I've got my tree ring going on. I don't even realize the burst is there anymore. I've got both of my photos, and now I'm working on my little flare and putting my tiny words, which were actually the branding strip at the bottom of my mountain trek paper with the tree ring. I went ahead and I cut out the words that more pertained to this photo. And I think part of it works with my title as well. So I have love as my title and then loving this life. So it's like loving this life is the full title if you read it that way. But actually, the intended title was just the word love because I love walking around our marina. I love all of it. I'm so very blessed to live right next door to it, in all honesty, actually across from it. I always say right next door, but it's not next door. So anyways, I decided to put my flare right next to the heart once I glue it all down. But I tested it first to see how I liked it. And I really, really do, actually, even though it's going to add a little bit more dimension than I wanted it to, because now it's foam on top of flare or flare on top of foam. So it's two-dimensional rather than just the one dimension, but I'm okay with that. And for my little tiny word stickers, I didn't stick them straight across the center of the flare. I had both of them sticking over one way or the other. Now, to help me with this plain Jane brown cardstock, I went ahead and I added some Nuvo drops, or it's not Nuvo drop, I apologize. It's Nuvo Mica Mist. Now, I'm not sure exactly what color this is. It's their very dark blue, but I had to transfer it into another bottle because the bottles that they come in do not spray at all. And so I went ahead and transferred it into another bottle, and now I can't remember the name of it. But this is the end of my layout, and I do end up loving it, like a lot, compared to where I was starting and struggling with it. I absolutely love Karen's layout. I still love hers way more than mine. But I am glad that I was able to, scrap lift her and get inspired by her layout. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with May I Scraplift You. The links are down below this video, and I will check y'all later. Bye.